A teacher was knocked down and killed this morning just before 7 o'clock on the Philip Golson Highway near DK Supermarket in Belize City. She lives in the Buttonwood Bay area with her 2 children and was visiting with her parents. Marilena Mortis jumped the recently installed barriers of the renovated highway and was struck by a vehicle. The impact sent the 23-year-old woman several feet away and to her death. Patrick's father, Henry, says that he was one of the first responders. Mortis was crushed by the vehicle, which came to a stop several yards away.
I rush out there because I know a little CPR and thing, and when I jump over the pavement, I jump to see a family member to me, lying there on the pavement, crushed to death. When I say crushed to death, a living person should not receive those impacts from vehicles. Her leg was broken, her head at the side was crushed. Her back was totally digging out, when I said root out, and she have a heavy set person. I remained there under shock for approximately 5 minutes, and I tried to go down while we were calling 911.
The paramedics and police responded shortly after the incident. After the scene was processed, the driver of the vehicle was taken into custody pending further investigation.
The deceased was attempting to jump over the barrier, and while she was doing so, they had 2 vehicles that were coming towards Belize City, and she ended up landing herself on top of one of the vehicles, where she was hit and received several injuries to her body. The vehicle stopped at a distance, the driver came out, and at this moment he is detained.
The incident brings into sharp focus safety concerns for pedestrians along that stretch of road. Back in 2018, the highway was given a facelift and a barrier installed to create a fast and slow lane. But the nearest pedestrian crossing is either near the roundabout by Smart or to the other end by the Brody's Scotiabank Belama branch. The area is residential. Hundreds of families live on either side of the highway, and there are major supermarkets and restaurants along the stretch. Despite this morning's tragedy, we captured persons crowing the barriers and the highway to get to their vehicles or to catch a bus, including students who expose themselves to life-threatening risks.
It's a concern, and the barriers were placed for a reason. And if you see that one of them, we call it the slower lane than the other one, and she is not the first person that has jumped that barrier. There are several persons, even though they know the risk that they are running, they still go ahead and jump it whilst traffic is coming. We would advise the persons to be careful and desist from jumping the barriers, because sometimes they are not paying attention and they do not know what is coming in front of them. It's a matter that the investigator is filing up, and if anybody will be charged, that will happen.
But Henry, who claims he is a traffic consultant, says that the project was not properly planned and should have accommodated for pedestrians.
This highway is a sentence to death to citizens within the city limit. I continue to say this, that we need to remove these huge slab in the middle of the road and replace with a pedestrian with a button that you could press so that people can get from point A to point B to get to the grocery store to shop. This would have never happened. This is the 9 people within a 2-year span die within this junction. Elderly citizen climbed that stuff. One of them dropped about 4 weeks ago and rolled in the middle of the street. The vehicle managed to ride on the sidewalk. We have a death, and it shouldn't have happened because of the negligence of the persons who are building this highway, and no posters of sign. I continue to say you need to gazette sign, which is the speed lane, the slow lane, whatever.
Duane, Moody for News 5.